Hello, everyone. Have you seen any little animals with big bushy tails hopping around the yard lately? I'm talking about squirrels. Those squirrels have been really busy collecting different kinds of nuts and acorns so they can have lots of food all winter long. They sure are cute though, aren't they? So let's start with a squirrel stretch. Let's reach our arms up in the air and let's climb the tree like we're little squirrels. Scurry, scurry, scurry. Oh, and let's leap to this branch over here. And let's leap to the branch over here. Oh, and let's climb down the tree and dig in the dirt for another acorn, and let's hide it for later. Great job. You made some great squirrels there. Good morning to you, good morning to you. We're all in our places with bright shining faces. Good morning to you, good morning to you. You sounded great. So, the first book we're going to read today is Those Darn Squirrels. It's by Rubin, and it was published by Clarion Books. On the outskirts of town, at the edge of the forest, there was a little old house. The only thing older than the little old house was the man who lived in it. Old Man Fuquire. There's his house. Old Man Fuquire was so old that when he sneezed, dust came out. He was also a grump. He hated pie. He hated puppies. Huh. Wow. The only thing he liked was birds. All summer long, the old man painted pictures of birds that visited his backyard. There were whirlybirds and bonga birds, baba birds and yaba birds. Even a rare flugel bird came by once or twice. Fuquire's paintings weren't very good, but the birds never said anything. When the air turned crisp and the leaves began to change color, like now, the old man grew sad. He knew that soon the birds would fly south for the winter, as they did every year, and that he would be lonely. Then he had an idea. If he fed the birds, maybe they would stick around. So Old Man Fuquire built beautiful bird feeders and put them up all around his backyard. He filled the feeders with delicious seeds and berries, and soon birds came from all over the forest just to eat in the old man's yard. Look at all these great bird feeders and great birds. But the birds weren't the only ones who liked the bird feeders. The squirrels did too. Not many people know this, but squirrels are the cleverest of all woodland creatures. In fact, they're fuzzy little geniuses. They can make a house out of a tree, a bed out of a bunch of leaves, and a box kite out of twigs, dirt, and squirrel spit. Ew. They're also excellent at math. There's the squirrels eyeing the bird feeder. Winter was fast approaching, and the squirrels needed to gather as much food as they could get to get ready. So they decided to take some of the bird food. The birds were not happy. Neither was Old Man Fuquire. When he discovered what had happened, he shook his old man fist and yelled, "Those darn squirrels! Those darn squirrels eating my bird seeds." He filled up the feeders again, but this time he hung them from a clothesline. Then he went back inside, confident that the squirrels would no longer be able to get to the seeds and berries. But the squirrels were determined. They devised a plan, and this time they took all the food from the bird feeders. Oh no. The birds were furious. "Harumph! Harumph! Harumph!" yelled a bonga bird. "Those darn squirrels!" yelled Old Man Fookwire. "Yum," said the squirrels. Oh, those squirrels sure look full. And look at how angry Old Man Fookwire is. Shaking his fist. Now, it was Old Man Fookwire's turn to devise a plan. He went to the general store to get supplies. He bought lasers and clamps. He bought wires and springs. He bought all sorts of tools and built a veritable fortress around his bird feeders. Then he refilled them very carefully. "Na, na, 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 na," snorted the flugelbird. Well, look at that plan. Pretty detailed. The squirrels stayed up all night working out their strategy. They drank cherry cola and ate salt and vinegar chips to help them stay awake. Finally, they had it, the perfect plan. They put on their tiny helmets and prepared to launch themselves into the air, over the fence, between the lasers, and onto the bird feeders. Wow, look at these little geniuses and this plan they came up with. The first squirrel misfired and hit a tree. The second squirrel went too high and landed in a bucket. The third squirrel sailed clear over the house. The birds laughed and laughed. They each had one last delicious mouthful of seeds and berries from the old man's feeder. Then they flew south for the winter, just as they did every year. Said the flugelbird. There's the squirrels missing the launch there. And there's the birds flying south for the winter. After the birds left, Old Man Fookwire was lonely, just as he was every year. He fixed himself some cottage cheese and pepper, his favorite snack. But he was still lonely. When he looked out the window, the squirrels could tell that he wasn't happy. "Go away!" shouted the old man. "I don't like you, squirrels." There's the grumpy old man. What do you think? You think the squirrels are going to try to help him not feel so lonely? The squirrels held a meeting deep inside a large tree. They decided to give the old man a present to make up for taking the seeds and berries. Now, not many people know this, but squirrels are not only fuzzy little geniuses, they also collect just about anything they find on the ground. These squirrels had a vast stockpile of spectacular junk to choose from. But what would Fookwire like? Bottle caps, popsicle sticks, postage stamps? Finally, they had it. The perfect gift. Look at all this stuff they collected. I wonder what the perfect gift is going to be. The squirrels stacked all of their loose change on Old Man Fookwire's doorstep. There were dimes and pennies. There were nickels and quarters. There were even a few tokens from Coco's arcade. It all added up to $47.36, plus a few rounds of skee ball. Don't you love skee ball? "Maybe you squirrels aren't so bad," Fookwire said when he found the coins, "but I still like birds better." This gave the squirrels another idea. They raided their junk collection again and got to work. When Old Man Fuquire woke up the next morning, he was amazed to see that the birds had returned. The birds? I thought they flew south. But wait! Those things weren't birds. They were squirrels in disguise. "Great googly moogly," said Old Man Fuquire. "This will make quite a painting." He ran outside and took down the lasers and the wires and the spring-loaded trapeze. He turned all the bird feeders into squirrel feeders. Then he painted till his brush ran out of bristles. Look at these flying squirrels with their feathery wings. That would make a great painting. The squirrels were so overjoyed, they had a party in Old Man Fuquire's house. "Those darn squirrels," said Fuquire, and he shook his old man fist and smiled. There he is. He's happy again. "Those darn squirrels." Such a silly story. "Oh, the frisky little squirrel, he gathers nuts and seeds. He hides them for the winter months so he'll have all he needs. Oh, up, up, up he goes, and down, down, down he comes. He runs around, goes up and down. His work is never done." Great job. This next book is based off of a poem by Alexina B. White, and it's called Frisky, Brisky, Hippity Hop. It was published by Holiday House. Frisky, Brisky, Hippity Hop. Aren't these great photographs of some squirrels in action? Up he goes. To the treetop. Whirly twirly, round and round. Down he scampers to the ground. Oh, look at that bushy tail. Furly curly. What a tail. Oh. Tall as a feather. Broad as a sail. Giggly wriggly. Let's have fun. Leap and soar from shade to sun. Hawk a hunting. Oh no, hawks like squirrels. Can't catch me. Run, squirrel, run. Snickery, trickery behind the tree. That's a good hiding spot, squirrel. Hide and peek. What do you see? Slyly, wily. 1, 2. There's 2 squirrels. 3. Oh, look at how cute they are all together. Snappity crackety. What a treat. Break the shell, ready to eat. Scrambly brambly, no time to rest. Making a home in a leafy nest. Do you ever see nests like that up in the trees? Those are squirrel nests. Huddly cuddly, snuggle in tight. Aw. See you tomorrow. Good night. Aw. is sleeping in his little tree. Frisky, Brisky, Hippity, Hop. Gray squirrel, shake your bushy tail. Gray squirrel, shake your bushy tail. Wrinkle up your little nose. Good wrinkling. Put a nut between your toes. Gray squirrel, shake your bushy tail. That's a fun one. Okay, and now it's time for If You're Happy and You Know It by David A. Carter. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, wag your tail. If you're happy and you know it, wag your tail. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, wag your tail. If you're happy and you know it, pat your head. If you're happy and you know it, pat your head. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, pat your head. If you're happy and you know it, flap your wings. If you're happy and you know it, flap your wings. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, flap your wings. If you're happy and you know it, wink your eyes. If you're happy and you know it, wink your eyes. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, wink your eyes. If you're happy and you know it, touch your toes. If you're happy and you know it, touch your toes. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, touch your toes. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! Thanks again for joining me for Drop-In Storytime. I'm Miss Ann and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.